4th and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Good old ABCD EFG Lamb calls out Dru Phillips. Well, apparently, I guess Dru Phillips last year tackled him and hurt his shoulder. And ABCD EFG is a little ticked off about that, I guess. You know. Well, I mean, he had a good game against the Eagles. I really didn't watch it. I can't stand watching the Eagles. Life's short. At my age, life is short. I'm not wasting 3 hours of my time watching the Eagles. But, you know, he had 7 catches, over 100 yards. But the only thing that's going to come probably ever be remembered for that game, for ABCD Lamb, was the fact that he dropped like 94 passes. So be nice maybe if he drops that many passes against the Giants. I'd be fine with that. Or does he just drop passes against the Eagles? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. But, I mean, he did have a good game, but he dropped some passes. So instead of him maybe shooting his mouth off and trying to get back at Dru Phillips, maybe he just shut his mouth and earned some of his I think he's making it's like $34 million a year. His salary pays annual $34 million, and maybe he just shut his mouth up. Worried about catching some passes here, but ABCDEFG Lamb has revenge on his mind for the Giants cornerback, Dru Phillips. Pound per pound, the NFC East might be the most contentious division in the NFL. Literally, no combination of teams, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Giants like each other. That's true. And I can't stand the Eagles or the Cowboys, but it's respectful. Hate and all that. You know, I would want no other 3 teams in this division than with the Giants and the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Commanders. It's an honor to have those 3 teams in there, without question. Without question. There's no 3 other teams I would rather have in the whole of NFL, the other 3 with the Giants than the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Commanders. Although I did grow up, obviously, with the NFC East when the Cardinals were in there, but unfortunately, they had to go bye-bye, so it is what it is, but nearly every game is contentious, and there is no love lost between people on opposing sidelines. On Friday, Cowboys wide receiver ABCDEFG Lamb made sure that there will be an extra layer of tension when he and the boys face off against the Giants on Sunday. The 2 teams will clash for the first of 2 meetings in 2025, and Lamb will likely line up against second-year cornerback Dru Phillips. You know, slot cornerback, slot wide receiver. Well, they don't all the time wind up in the slot, but majority of the time they're in the slot. While that may not seem inconsequential, it figures to be an electric matchup. You know, I mean, Lamb's got his route running ability is phenomenal, without question. And Dru Phillips is in his 2nd season, obviously wanting to play, wanting to up his game from last season. A phenomenal rookie season. Let's see if he can up it a little bit, right? No better test at all, right, than ABCDEFG Lamb, right? Last season, Lamb played through a shoulder injury for multiple weeks that seemed to worsen after a matchup with the Giants. Phillips was the player who laid the hit on Lamb and supposedly led him to missing the final 2 games of the season. Lamb hasn't forgotten that, and on Friday, he said he intends on taking revenge. Going to take revenge on you. ABCDEFG Lamb says he's got something for the Giants cornerback, Dru Phillips, who injured him last year. Damn, I got something for you. Dude, why don't you just worry about catching the ball? Pretty much blew the game against the Eagles. Why don't you worry about catching a football? He tackled me and he hurt me. Oh, are you a little baby? Huh? Oh, he hurt me. ABCDEFG said, he hurt me. Mommy, change my diaper. He hurt me. Oh, little bitch. He tackled me and he hurt me, so I've got something for him for sure, Lamb said. I got something for him. What that revenge looks like wasn't clear. It could be Lamb saying that he's going to hurt Phillips in some way, or he hopes that he'll pop off on the stat sheet and go for 100-plus yards and a pair of touchdowns. Either way, the contention between these two promises to yield some entertaining football. Lamb will also be looking to redeem himself after dropping 2 passes on the Cowboys' final drive against the Eagles in Week 1. If you have Lamb on your fantasy football team, make sure he's starting. Oh, yeah, I mean, he'll probably put up some insane numbers. Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance of that. Lamb has the best 1-2 punch of motivation of any receiver heading into Week 2. With his dismay of Phillips, as well as his costly drops in Week 1 against the Eagles, although he did put up 110 yards on 7 catches, he made 4 drops that went a long way in hurting the Cowboys' chances to upset the Eagles. Now, let's say, I mean, I wonder, does he just drop passes against the Eagles, or will he drop some passes against the Cowboys, though? Yeah, once again, the Eagles are good, but it also helps to have some luck on your side. And, of course, the guy making $34 million a year drops 4 passes against you. You're pretty lucky. Right. Phillips didn't face much from the Commanders in Week 1, defending 0 passes while making 4 tackles. Now against Dallas, he'll have Lamb's hostility towards him to deal with. All right, now let me show you. I think, let me share my screen here. Show you what Phillips did last year. And there we go. All right, share the screen and show you what Phillips did last year. Okay, apparently, now he must have missed the first game against the Cowboys, right? Because the only one that he played in, this must be the one that ABCD EFG is talking about. This Week 13, okay, against Dallas, right? Because Dru started, played 52 snaps, rated out of 66.9, which would have been a lot higher, which probably would have been over 70, but his tackling to 28.6, because he apparently, according to PFF, he missed 2 tackles. He had 6 tackle opportunities. He made 4 of them, but he missed 2. So that brought his grade down quite a bit. So you'll notice here, he made 3 tackles. He made 1 assisted tackle. He missed 2 tackles, according to PFF. So he missed 33% of his tackles. So not very good. Not very, very good. Okay, now, obviously, 1 or 2 of those missed tackles could have been against ABCD Lamb, right? Now, in the game, he had 4 targets. There we go. Right? He was targeted 4 times. He gave up 4 completions. Now, probably all might have been to Lamb. Okay. He gave up 54 yards. He averaged 13.5 yards of reception, but one of them was a 30-yarder. Where are we at here? There we go. 30-yarder. He gave up 41 yards of yak. So basically what it was, he caught pretty much 4 passes for a grand total of 13 yards. He made 41 yards after catch, though. So he's catching these quick passes, and he's taking off with them, right? One of them, he went for 30 yards, right? So it's probably Lamb, I'm thinking, right, in the slot. This is where Phillips was. It was in the slot. So one of Lamb's catches probably went for 30 yards. I didn't look to see. But the other 3 receptions went for 24 yards. So basically, the other 3 receptions that Phillips gave up were 3 receptions for grand total of 24 yards or 8 yards of reception. So he gave up one kind of long one, a 30-yarder. Okay. But he didn't give up a touchdown. He didn't pick off any passes. No pass breakups or nothing. Okay. So you see right here. Okay. He was in the box 2 times, but he was in the slot 45 times. He was the corner, right, 5 times. So, was it the 52 snaps? Was it 52 snaps? Yeah, 52 snaps, right here. He was in the slot 45 times. So ABCD plays, obviously, a lot of the snaps come out of the slot. So good chance that, all the receptions that he gave up were against ABCD Lamb. He gave up 4 receptions. So, but once again, all in all, he didn't give up no touchdowns or nothing like that, right? You get 66.9. Now, I mean, it's very difficult. He gave up, right? Quite possibly, once again, against Lamb, 4 receptions for like 13 yards. And then there was 41 yards of yak. Okay, so basically Lamb's 3-4 yards, hitting him in stride or whatever, and he's trying to take off and do his thing. Right, so he's not like running down the field, right, catching a 20, 25-yard pass down the field on whoever it was against Phillips, right? Whoever Phillips went in the slot against the Cowboys, quite possibly was Lamb, right? Gave up 4 catches, and the 4 catches totaled 13 yards, right? So that tells you is the slants or what something short and quick, screens, right? Something short and quick. Maybe get the guy obviously on the run, hit him, let him take off or whatever. Now he did give up 1 for 30 yards altogether, right? But he gave up 41 yards of yak. So the guy was catching the ball and taking off, right? But Dru Phillips did not give up anything deep down the field. The 30-yarder he gave was pretty much all yards after the catch, right? But apparently, in that game he made 4 tackles, 3 tackles and 1 assisted tackle. And apparently one of those 3 tackles, he hurt me. He tackled me. It's football, you little biatch. I got something for him for sure. Okay, whatever you say, pal. But, now whether ABCD winds up going off or not, who knows? But it was sure, my thing, it sure would have been nice if he caught the balls against the Eagles, right? But, if he winds up having a good game, because now they have 2 dynamic wide receivers. Lamb's obviously the best, but they got 2 really good wide receivers. And so Dak Prescott still throwing the ball really well. He had a very good game against the Eagles. So he has a good game against the Eagles. He certainly could have a good game against the Giants. So it's once again, it's going to be tough. Can the Giants ever beat Dak Prescott again? It all starts on the line of scrimmage. Control the line of scrimmage. Another one of the things I did hear too was that I think they said Dak has played like grand total 13 games or 15 games, or I think grand total against the Giants, I think it was. Right? He's been sacked in those 15 games 15 times. 15 times in 15 games. We sacked the guy once a game. We can't get to him. Can't get to him. Or he gets out of the pocket and he runs, he scrambles, and he completes a pass or whatever. Can't get to him. We really need to dominate the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be easier said than done. Easier said than done. So hopefully, somehow we can figure a way to pull it out, but we need to dominate on line of scrimmage. Offensive line's got to play a lot better. Hopefully Sexy will get a little bit better. He said it's going to take a few weeks for Sexy to get full beast mode. It's going to take him a little bit of time, right? But between Kayvon and Abdul, Burnsy, Carrick, got to find a way, man. And I said this offensive line's got to do a much better job, much better job. And if we do, hopefully not, I hope not. But if we do wind up start falling behind all that, be interesting to see if we have a dart alert. Like, especially if we wind up getting like behind like whatever 3 scores halfway through the 4th quarter or something like that. Whatever. Just saying we're losing 28-7, 7 minutes to go in the game. Be interesting to see if Dart comes in the game or not. Very, very interesting.
Bye.